co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. Lowry's third baby daddy, Chris Lopez, has gone on an Instagram tirade against her now that she has dropped the news that she is pregnant with babies 6 and 7, who are twins by her latest baby daddy, Elijah Scott. I don't know. Um, let's get into the screenshots, okay? And then we'll discuss it together. So, as usual, he was very quick to post and delete, but Teen Mom Chatter managed to grab a screenshot of one of his posts. So, here he is saying that there's a bunch of morals to the story here, but I'm going to use like two. The number one, the truth will set you free. And stop doing things to people knowing you wouldn't be okay if it was done to you. So that the truth will set you free is her finally admitting that she's got all of these kids, that that she birthed one almost a year ago, and now she's already pregnant with two more. By the way, I heard you guys using this expression Irish triplets, and that kind of scared me. I've heard of Irish twins, but Irish triplets, God, wow. And then when he says that don't do things to people that you wouldn't want done to you, he's talking about Kail's penchant for outing pregnancies. Kail outed Chris's baby mama, well, his second baby mama, being pregnant with, his third child. And she even outed that the child would be a boy. And then most recently on her podcast, she heavily hinted that her ex-husband, Javi, was currently trying to have a child with his long-suffering girlfriend, Lauren. So he's like, stop doing these sorts of things to people when you know you don't want them done to you. You play victim when it's done to you, but look at the way you treat other people, right? And now this is when he goes atomic bomb on her. Also, condoms. Wow, Chris, tell us how you really feel. Why don't you? I will say, though, that I find it rich that a man who's got 3 out of wedlock children with 2 members of his harem is telling anybody to use condoms. Could Kail benefit from using condoms? Absolutely. But Chris being the messenger is a little rich to me, you guys. I'm not going to lie. Both of his kids he had with Kail, they were never even in a relationship. They were just having kids, right? And when it comes to Creed, their second child together, there was an active restraining order against him from Kail, and that was the reason why she couldn't even give birth in the hospital. They did it at home because of the restraining order. And he's talking about condoms. I'm sorry, dude, but come on. Now, let's get into some of his other posting. The other postings he was posting, I don't know, they gave like weird incel podcast bro vibes. So he posts this like screenshot from a question he asked Google: are kids better off with a mom or dad? And the thing says, overall, children seem to do better when they live with single fathers rather than single mothers, and single fathers appear to be more satisfied than single mothers with the role of single parent. And TNF Online is their source. I have never heard of TNF. I don't know if it's a valid, credible source or anything like that. But I find it crazy that this guy who had to have supervised visitations with his kids up until recently, who refused to work a job up until recently, who was living in his grandmother's attic up until recently, who for the first year of his child's life only bought a couple of diapers, right? Is posting this type of stuff, like the cognitive dissonance that it takes to be such a bare minimum person and father, and then to turn around and post this, like, it's just incredible to me, and it just leaves a really bad taste in my mouth, to be quite honest with you guys. And so he asked his followers what their thoughts are on that. And these are some of the responses that he got. So someone told him it's a harsh reality for moms to see the statistics, but it's true. And then Chris says, I love when you reply to anything because you being a woman, it's interesting seeing your point of view or even agreeing on some of the things I post. You are open about things and never defensive. It sounds like this girl is a pick-Misha for Chris, because if you were constantly agreeing with Chris and his misogynistic takes, you're a pick-me. I'm sorry. Now, let's get into the last one. I think we are guilty for projecting our stress onto our kids, whereas dads not so much. Who said this? This is so crazy to me. What? Chris responds with, I've gotten similar answers like this a few times. That's actually interesting, the amount of y'all aware of this. Who are these women and why are they supporting such garbage? Like, if this statistic even is true, which I don't even think it is, maybe they're saying, because children are so overwhelmingly raised by single mother that the few fathers who are, I don't want to say have courage or have the, who accept their responsibility and step up are actually incredible. right? Like sometimes, the mom and dad both ain't shit, but the mom took it on anyway, kind of like not Janelle's case, because Janelle ultimately gave up Jace to her mother, but with her other kids, like for example, Kaiser. Nathan's all the way out of the picture. So Janelle is a single mom and the primary caregiver, but she's terrible at it, right? So, you have a lot more likelihood of that in single mothers maybe than single fathers, because fathers will mainly bounce. So if a father is staying and stepping up, he's probably better than like your average person. But I have a hard time believing this statistic, to be honest with you. And again, I think it's ridiculous that someone like Chris, who had supervised visitation for his kids, had a restraining order against him when his second child was born, was never in a relationship with, two of his kids' moms, with the mom of two of his kids, right, is saying all this type of stuff. Like, who are you? Like, you recently got a job. You probably only cashed like your third, fourth paycheck. And here you are talking about single fathers are the best. And then you've got some pick-me-shas in your followers agreeing with this garbage and not even questioning the fact that you, of all people, are out here spewing this sort of thing. Like, what am I in the twilight zone? And then again, for him to tell Kale to use condoms, I don't disagree with him. Kale should probably look into condoms if she's so against birth control. But for you, in your situation with 3 kids by 2 women, you weren't in a relationship with the first woman, you were cheating on the second baby mama. You probably still are, but we don't know about it. Like, what? I'm so confused. You don't have your own house, you don't have your own money, and you have 3 kids. Like, you finally got your own place, but that's after having 3 kids, and you're talking about child. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to hop on here and give you that little rundown before I run out. I'm going to go get myself a poutine. It's been a long time, and it's cold, it's rainy, it's dark, and when it gets like that, I just want some comfort food, okay? Peace out, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. Bye.